Yes, we are live. Today, good people, there are some things that I want us to talk about, especially concerning the issue. To Lokugu, who's this guy? The issue. The General Khumalo, the crime intelligence boss, actually towards the end, there are things that he said, especially starting from after lunch, there are things that he said which were very, 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 very interesting and very, if I may say, quite revelations, right? The fact that we now know that Masala belongs to the Big Five, that's at least the topic of the day. What constitutes the Big Five, right? And if you remember vividly, I've once said in the past that it looks like, and I was speaking about Ukatiso by then, and I said, Katiso looks like the guy with the contract to clean, right? It looked like Katiso had a contract to clean, a cleanup contract, wherein his responsibility would have been to say, listen, Katiso, we've got a problem with person B. He's standing on our way. Therefore, we want you to remove him. And I remember I said that. I was glad when I was listening to, I was glad when I was listening to this man, General Khumalo, actually describing this Big Five, that for a person to participate and be a member of the Big Five, they need to offer something to this Big Five. So you then understand that, oh yeah, it makes sense, a lot of it, that you will have Katiso that works as a cleaning company. Cleaning company in this sense, I eliminate anything that is a problem. Then you've got Kat Matlala, who was like, okay, I am going to capture the police. His interest was, we need to capture the police. We need to make sure that we control the police from within. Guys, there is a series. It's not a movie, as in like one episode of a movie. It's a series. I am always mistaken it with this movie called The Person of Interest. I forgot the name of this movie. Ne? In this movie, there's a guy who goes to CIA, not CIA. Oh yeah, I think so. And then he surrenders himself there. He's been on their wanted list. On a certain day, just surrenders. When he surrenders, they think they have control over him. Finally, they've gotten the man. Only to learn later that his intention was to capture the institution from within. So he needed to allow himself to get arrested so that he can get access and manipulate people and pay people to work for him. So he ended up using the organization that is supposed to clean up crime. He ended up using that organization to attack his enemies. That movie or that series, is it The Blacklist or what? I'm not sure. I forgot the name of the series. That series, though, it looks like we are living exactly in that series. Okay? Because when you look at Matlala, like how you say to yourself, out of everything that a person could have done, all that you thought about was, I need to target police, I need to capture police. Out of all, you know, when criminals are sitting there planning, when your dream is to capture police. Others are thinking, let's rob banks, let's do cash in transit. Matlala was like, I don't care about that. I want to capture police so I can control them and tell them what to do. Well, as if that was not enough, today I want you to remember about the 200 million worth of substance that cannot be named, cocaine, that was intercepted here in Joburg and then was stored in Hawk's facility in KZN. Then, around the weekend of the 5th towards the 8th of November, is it 2021 if I'm not mistaken, that substance that cannot be named was stolen in the facility of Hawks, which then brings this one. We now know, based on what Khumal said, that there is a member of Hawks that is involved with Abu Masala. And now DPCI Hawks, by the way, in KZN. So we said, wait a minute. So that get lost in KZN, and there's a member of KZN, of Hawks in KZN who is linked to Masala. Now it makes sense. Now remember, as they explain it, they are basically saying, guys, for this cartel to work, they are selling a product. People might have different duties, but the product that they are selling is the substance that cannot be named. So all that they want to move is the substance that cannot be named. Now, you will remember when you watch, or if you have read an article from Daily Maverick speaks about how the substance that cannot be moved is, or how they move this substance. Come with me. And Daily Maverick goes as far as saying the substance that cannot be moved, cannot be named, is moved in blue lights. So it will make sense for Masala to want to capture what? The police, because if he has the police on his side, then he can move the substance that cannot be named easily without anybody questioning him. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Like, out of all the crimes that you can commit, you want to rob the South African police service. Out of all the crimes that you can commit. But guys, we can call. We can call. The number that you're going to call is 072 954 1880. Guys, this is the time for people to call. When I ask people to call during this live stream, people don't call. Then they wait until the live stream is over. Then they want to talk to me, and it's already difficult because I've got other things to deal with. This is the time, guys. Use the following number, 072 954 1880. 072 954 1880. Now, let's then look at something that happened today. I want to play something for you. Very interesting. Very, 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 very interesting. I don't know what is happening now, but I want to play this thing. Something that was said by who's this guy? Utumsan Khumal. He said something here. So this is where everything starts, and let's take things one step at a time. Please watch this video here. Okay, there it goes.
The charts were obtained from the cell phones of Mr. Vusimuzi Matlala, one of the leaders of the Big Five organized crime syndicate that is forming part of the Big Five cartel, as I've explained. The consent form for the seizure, as well as the extraction of the contents of these devices, was signed by Mr. Vusimuzi Matlala and is annexed as SDK 10.
And this consent form was obtained when he was arrested. And was that, what was the date of that?
That is correct, Commissioners. It was the 14th of May, 2025.
And Commissioners, that's to be found at page 112 of the taking the commission through before we... Sorry. Let me start again. Can you describe for the commission an overview of the WhatsApp chats that we will be going through in detail?
Thank you, Commissioners. As I've indicated, then starting from paragraph 80, as to the originality of the WhatsApp chats, these chats will provide, they were included in my affidavit because they will provide the important context that is necessary for the Commission to know in order to understand the decision to disestablish the political killings task team, as well as the manner in which that decision was sought to be implemented by certain elements within the South African Police Service as well as the Ministry of Police. When I touched on the modus operandi at high level of organized crime syndicates, we will find a clear corroboration as we go through these WhatsApp communications between Mr. Vusimuzi Matlala and various individuals, including politicians, members of the South African Police Service, as well as business persons. The charts that I'll be taking the Commission through, I relied that I will rely on were obtained from the two telephone devices seized from Mr. Matlala, as I've indicated, during his time of arrest. The charts were extracted from the forensic image of the two devices, and they disclose direct communication and association between Mr. Matlala and several senior officials within SAPS, within the business space, which have apparent connections to the Minister of Police, who is Mr. Brown Mukhosi, who is an acknowledged associate of the Minister of Police, and we are also going to have a look at a forensic investigator who is publicly recognized for his comments within the media space, and the records and investigations based on these records also is evidenced with payments made.
Okay, so guys, you would have noticed that, or you would have heard what he said, okay? So you would have heard what he said, and it's very, very interesting. It's very, very, very interesting. Now, think about this. Like, sit down and think about this. You've got top members of the South African Police Service that are part and parcel of the cartel. You've got Matlala, part and parcel of the cartel. Katiso, part and parcel of the cartel. And then we're about to get a little bit personal now, because the people are about to get mentioned. One of the names that shocked me in today's episode, in today's Madlanga proceeding was I, okay guys, okay. There's something that Utimsan said. And in what he said, it looked like he was speaking about Paul O'Sullivan. Don't rush. Just digest what you are about, digest what I say. But at the same time, I want you to think about it. I want you to think about what I've just said, and after thinking about what I've said, I want to play you a video. And now you want to go back and say, wait a minute. So the reason some people were angry at Mkhwanazi really has nothing to do with Mkhwanazi being a criminal, but has everything to do with something about their pockets, right? I am saying, okay, let me do you this thing. I want you to listen to this video. There's something I saw that was said by Tumsan. Now, and what Tumsan said, I'm about to give you that video. But guys, please don't forget, you are allowed to call in this live stream. Don't forget, you can also, like the stream. It's part and parcel of the nice things to do. So please, listen to what Tumsan will say about certain people who are participating or members therein. Listen to this.
The 5 charts that I'll be taking the commission through, number 1 is communication between Mr. Vusimuzi Matlala and Mr. Brown Mukhotsi, who is a businessman linked to several SAPS officials, and he appears to have been involved in funding activities for the Minister of Police within the ANC. A printout of WhatsApp chats between Matlala and Brown Mukhotsi is attached as WB1 in the WhatsApp bundle.
The second?
The second one will be the communication between Mr. Vusimuzi Matlala and Major General Sinona, who is the head of DPCI in KwaZulu-Natal. A printout of the WhatsApp chats between Mr. Matlala and Major General Sinona is attached as Annexure WB2.
And the third? Oh, sorry, there's 2 related to...
Yeah, under the same number 2 is also a printout of WhatsApp chats between Mr. Vusimuzi Matlala and Eitato Sinona, who is the son of Major General Sinona. That is attached as WB3.
And the third set of communications?
The third set is the communication between Mr. Vusimuzi Matlala and the acting chief of police in Ekurhuleni Metropolitan Police, Mr. Julius Mkhwanazi. A printout of the WhatsApp chats between Mr. Matlala and Mr. Mkhwanazi is attached as Annexure WB4.
Okay, so now you've heard the man mentioning people, right? Now, first of all, members of the South African senior members. Yabana, it's one thing to talk about members of the South African Police Service, but in this case, we are talking about senior members of the South African Police Service. So that is what I've heard. But I also want to remind you of something. Do you remember Mkhwanazi when he was speaking about the investigators that were investigating Amatswar? Do you remember that Mkhwanazi said senior members of the South African Police Service were they approached the investigators with 3 envelopes. 1 brown envelope was for the investigators. 2nd brown envelope was for the prosecutor. I forgot the 3rd brown envelope, who was it made for, but this brown envelope was to make sure that even if the case goes to court, it doesn't succeed. That's what basically they were doing. But remember that the people who were doing that was senior members of the South African Police Service. So what you are hearing now, it goes back to what Mkhwanazi says. Remember what he said. Remember that the media said whatever Mkhwanazi said does not have proof. But it looks like Mkhwanazi gave us the skeleton and say this is what we are going to build on. And from what I'm seeing, it looks like we are successfully building that. Now we are seeing Dumsan giving meat to the bones. Now we know, oh, okay. So certainly there were members of the South African Police Service that were involved there. But then it takes it a little bit further now. It brings members of the Hawks, which are still, by the way, the same members of the SAPS in a way. And then you know that, okay, by function, if you have those members, you can get away with a lot of things. That's why Mahlala's cases were withdrawn. I once did an episode of the number of cases in relation to Mahlala that were withdrawn. Some of them he should have easily gotten convicted, but cases were withdrawn. Do you remember that? So now everything seems like it is coming together very nicely. Then there is the mention of some people who are what independent. Take everything that I said with a pinch of salt and use the word allegedly. But listening to that, it gives me an idea that, man, it looks like I can put the face now to the name and come up with, let me leave it there, right? Let me leave it there. But it looks like that is where we're going. Another interesting thing that has not yet been mentioned here is the judicial. How does the judicial then get involved, and what is their responsibility? Because let me actually read this thing for you. This is very interesting when you talk about the cartel and you're looking at how people are recruited to the cartel. Listen to this thing. These are the reasons that one would have been recruited to the cartel. I'm just opening up my laptop here. Listen to this. Very interesting. It says, syndicate 6 individuals who meet specific criteria reflecting experience, loyalty, and utility to the organization. Prospective members typically have established history of criminal activity, evidenced by multiple arrests and criminal cases. Though many charges were withdrawn, showcasing the group's ability to influence criminal investigations and judicial outcome. A proven track record of habitual criminality is viewed as an asset. So you've got to be. Now, let me repeat this. It was coming from who? It is the statement that came from Utumsan and say, if they are looking to recruit you, these are some of the things that you might want to look at. Syndicate 6 individual who meet specific criteria reflecting experience, loyalty, and utility to the organization. Prospective members typically have established history of criminal activity, evidenced by multiple arrests and criminal cases, though many charges were withdrawn, showcasing the group's ability to influence criminal investigations and judicial outcome. Two things that you need to note there. A proven track record of habitual criminality is viewed as an asset. Now, they are able to influence judicial outcome. 2, they influence investigation. I want you to note something there. Number 3, please note that this group have an interest in someone that that has a history of cases. You know, we are not saying that there's a friend of ours here who hates us, whose name shall be withdrawn, who has been in and out courts, but he's serving in a very serious position, and also linked to Mahlala. And then you read this and you're like, wait a minute. Something is very interesting. What Dumzan Khumalo tells us here, guys, come on, wake up. You want me to give everything? There's an individual here who, throughout his career, has been in and out courts. He survived, that. Now it makes sense. And I'm like, when Tumsan says they want people who have a proven track record of being arrested, criminal charges, but the second thing is this thing. This is where it gets funny. They are able to influence investigations. So we know, okay, so Khumalo tells us that there is a member of the DPCI in KZN, he even tells us the name. Now they also mention senior officials in the South African Police Service. It then takes me to this question. Are we not getting somewhere with regards to the 3 constables whose life was lost in a mysterious way at Hinops River? If these people are capable of influencing investigations, and these constables they were members of cybercrime, right? They were dealing with crime, cybercrime. And they get lost somewhere in Joburg. Their lives is just, lost somewhere in Joburg. Are we not getting somewhere about this? I'm not saying anything, I'm just saying, are we not getting somewhere about that case? Mark the word, since they are able to influence investigations. And those guys were responsible, or they were responsible to investigate, but more specifically, digital crimes. When you commit crime through your phone, it goes back to the cybercrime unit in the South African Police Service. And that's where the 3 constables were stationed. We are not saying that with certainty, but I'm saying, if Brown Mogods knows secrets of the intelligence department, classified documents, hey man, are we not getting somewhere with that case? I'm just saying. You guys are going to tell me in the comment section below. I'm just thinking out loud. Now, it takes me to this point. Do you remember when Mkhwanazi spoke about the judicial and how the judicial responded to Mkhwanazi? They were very harsh. They wanted evidence and they wanted this and this. Do you remember that? Khumalo tells us already that these people are able to influence the outcome of judicial. So, for you to be able to influence the outcome of a judicial, you need who? A person who is in the judicial. Hey, I'm afraid. What will this man, Dumzan Khumalo, what do you think he will reveal tomorrow? Because he didn't get there, but he's still coming. He didn't get there, but it's still coming. So, he then tells us that business people are involved too. You think this guy was joking? This guy was not joking. Listen to this. Listen to this. I want to play you this video. Something that is quite interesting to me. This name is interesting. Listen to this.
The fourth is Mr. Vusimus Matala and Mr. Calvin Rafadi, who is an academic commentator linked to several high-ranking SAPS officials, and the printout of those WhatsApp chats are attached as Annexure WB6.
Okay, guys, I'm sorry. I don't know. I was trying to fix some things. You see this thing of not having a producer. So you need to be yourself. You need to produce things for yourself. So I'm sorry, guys. Now, do you notice that based on what we have just came to know, right? The big five here is composed of people from all different walks of life who are serving in different positions, works for the cartel, for different, the agenda is one, as Utumsan Khumalo said, they are pushing substance that cannot be named. Yabana guys, I want you to have this in mind. The live stream will end at 1:15. So please, if you want to call, please do call now. At any given time, you can just call now. The number is on your screen. So, end at 1:15. So we've got 10 minutes to go. Now, it is, this is heavy, let me say it though. It has been said that music or the music industry is one of the best vehicles that push the agenda of substance that cannot be named, right? Now, remember DJ Somebody. Remember the article that we read, which was on Daily Maverick and Sunday World, which speaks about the fact that DJ Somebody opens restaurants, and it tells us that the purpose of him opening those restaurants, somehow a substance that cannot be named were moved through that restaurant. But we do know that it is the culture of the entertainment industry wherein substance that cannot be moved are sold not only to the audience or some people within the audience, but even some artists. We do know that they are heavy consumers of substance that cannot be named. It is a known fact. So when you now go back and you backtrack and you're now thinking, so this cartel could be a group of 5 people coming together, but under these 5 people, there are people under them that operates right there. They have their different positions there. So I would like to say this in advance. I think what we should know or what we should pay attention to right now is we know that the distribution, the drug cartels and the distributors, we know that, okay, these are the top guys. But who are the promoters, music promoters, event promoters and musicians, if possible, who are pushing the substance that cannot be named? That's number one. Number two, how are they transported, moving from Joburg, because Joburg is the hub. Joburg is the, even Tumsan Khumalo says they are head officer here in Joburg. But we do know that the substance that cannot be moved, cannot be named, they are moved from Joburg to Cape Town. We know that Cape Town is affected by substances that cannot be named that are coming from Joburg. So the question is, what mode of transport is used to carry out or to transport the substance that cannot be named? 2. Number 3, please ask yourself this question as we are waiting, probably we will be answered. We know as per Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi that this substance that cannot be named will then be taken outside of the country to the neighboring countries, right? The question is we are on point number 3, 3.1. How do they move this substance to these borders, right? Ultimately to these different countries. Don't you think they need the blue light to do that? Don't you think they need to work with people who are working in the borders for them to move substance that cannot be named from this country to that country? Or else, if they are not going through the borders, then it will mean they need to cut corners. Then they need soldiers who are guarding the South African border. Look, the South African fence, not even a wall, it's like a fence that people can easily jump. So then they will need those people. So it means that there must then be a relationship between them and some members of the SANDF, right? That is where now my interest is, right? How do you move them from Joburg there to there without them being noticed? How do you get them to Cape Town? And how do you ultimately get them to, how do you get the substance that cannot be named to the neighboring countries? Is this not a question of interest according to majority of you guys? Now, I'm also curious because when you study these organizations, they even have lawyers on their side. Who are their lawyers who advise them? It would be interesting to know their lawyers. But there's something that also Khumalo said that I think it's worth our attention. When he said they portray themselves as if they are just, you will see a company that employs people who are working. And when he said that, I'm like, it is exactly the way we see it in the movies. Wherein, okay, this example. Let me paint this picture. Ne? You see a company. You see people are working there. And you will come and buy here. But behind the so-called probably restaurant, behind that, there is a full operation and people are working there. But at the front, it's like a restaurant, people are coming in. And some people will appear like they are here just to buy food at the restaurant and they disappear. Somehow when they come back, you don't know, you're like, you went back, when you went that side, you were a bit sober, but when you came back, you are now hyper, you are active, you are this. What did you eat that side? But you don't pay attention because you don't think that behind the restaurant, there's something that is happening. That is what Dumzan Khumalo is basically highlighting to us, which then it proves the point. The point that people have been talking about, it has been proven right. This is the point. People have been saying there are businesses that doesn't make sense. You know that the money that you are making there cannot sustain the business that you are owning. It cannot produce the things that you have, but look at the things you own versus the business you are having, my friend. We now know. Guys, come on. That is what we are being exposed to say there are businesses that, okay, I get carried away. Let me slow down. This other time, I drive around Joburg CBD multiple times where you drive around Joburg CBD around 1 a.m. Most of the time, I hate Joburg CBD, guys. I only go there when I'm supposed to go there. So I'm passing through Joburg CBD and I see people are selling sweets at night, tomatoes, cabbage. At night, you see the table that you see during the day. I saw that at Joburg CBD, midnight. And I said to myself, oh, so you mean to tell me that at 1 o'clock, somebody's buying tomatoes for what? Who's cooking at 1 o'clock? You mean to tell me that at 1 o'clock, somebody's buying onion? Who's cooking at that time? Even if there are people that are cooking, but come on, it doesn't make sense that you can even sell them. You can be there all day at night, every day at night when you are there selling the same thing. I sat there, guys, I was like, nah, this does not make sense. Let does not make sense. Now, when you listen to this guy, when you listen to General Khumalo, you didn't realize that, it makes sense. It makes perfect sense. These people are not selling whatever we think they are selling. They are selling, behind what they are selling, it's substance that cannot be named. But also, there are so many businesses that have been accused of fronting. I've already mentioned the media, the entertainment industry. There are people who will open businesses like us. We see the business is running. We're looking at the number of customers. We're like, this business, we see. I'm not gonna name. I'm not gonna put name. There is a business around Fosloras. Somebody went around Fosloras. I'm not gonna say in the name. Somebody went there. Hey, this guy, a structure, beautiful structure, a beautiful structure, and then they are selling premium stuff. Celebrities were called there. You understand what I'm saying? Ah, man. You know, in that process of time, people began asking questions, and they were like, nah, man, there's something that does not add up here. Guys, don't forget to like the stream. Some people began saying, no, man, there's something that does not add up here. And guess what? Today, government had to demolish that structure. When I was searching for the reasons why the structure was demolished, I was told that I was told that the problem can be traced back as to how it was established. Apparently, there are things that are questionable about how the structure was established. You know, I'm not gonna say much. Those who know, they know what I'm talking about. That structure, it used to be that building. You know, it used to invite. Think about the most prominent celebrities you think of in this country. Okay, let's say Zingumalo, whatever. You think of any celebrities, they will be called, they've once been at Fosloras. I'm not saying the celebrities are part and parcel of the thing, but I'm saying the structure, everything there did not make sense to a lot of people. People are questioning it. And then it was a business that was booming. Like, okay, I don't know what's going on. I thought, okay, sorry guys. So there was some questionable things as to how the business was established and what the business was doing, the type of revenue that were generated, the celebrities that would be called there. You know, there was just a lot of things that did not make sense. But what we now know from General Khumalo is that fronting is real. Fronting is a real thing. That is now something that we are quite sure about. So what I'm going to do now, I'm gonna read the comments, but I want to ask you a question before I exit the live stream. What do you expect? Because from what I understand, we've been given the starter. More is coming. But what do you expect from General Khumalo? What do I almost said it. Let me not say it. Let's read your comments and then we will, yeah. Bongs Azkal, we are waiting. NMDSA Bongan, Uti Hau, Udimaka, Uti still waiting. Enoch Mushanga, Uti finally. Tato Timen. Imagine Cat is from Swaziland and oh, Mr. H, Blacklisted is a serious name. Thank you very much, guys. Please watch that thing, Blacklisted. Yo, that series, you guys, I'm begging you, please go and watch that series. What you see Uket Mahlala doing, you will see in that. Maybe he got inspired by that thing. Maybe. Just go and watch that series. Umlondoloze uthi Mr. Randington. Singpiwe uthi, hey, Tabongs, he did control the police, this guy. Uti, I always say there is no way drugs calls flow like this without police being involved in SA. SA is captured. Right, Dipuo Uti, Vusmuz, the real Minister of Police. Derek, Netflix director, get ready. There is another documentary to publish. See, Lewen. Etel, Otige, Homotsapa. I don't know what Ethel is saying, Dipu. Guys, but do you really believe Ramarama doesn't know anything about this? Hey, Dipu, this country give mixed veg. Oh, Dipu, madam. Snetemba, Mkotana, Oti Bongs, you also have on. Uqalile. All right. Ahlile lap uthi Dipuo, don't assume bongs, right? Klo uthi ke mahlala read the minds of these grannies who always removing their gray hair and bed to look younger. Dipuo uthi ANC, you're gonna get 2% yakin. Oh, see Leona Dipuo. All right. Okay. All right. Let me get this one. Let's get this one first. Oh, SA Infotainment Podcast. Hello. Welcome to SA Infotainment Podcast. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. I don't know. Maybe the problem is maybe there's a problem with your line. Can you hear me? Okay, no. We'll see another one. Let's continue reading the comments. Somebody says it's a can of worms. Dipuo, this cat person is being implicated everywhere. Yo, South African soccer history. Ask Rata how Judicial feature in this mess. Right. South African soccer history. That's why Sibia wanted the cold case unit so bad. Dipuo, don't forget even the diary of a minister. Margaret Otigam, what is a useless Shamila Patoi saying now? Acting Minister of Police. That guy should have taken that, shouldn't have taken that job, right? Sipo Ndwandwe, Blacklist Netflix, Chico, Okoko Utibongs, Koko, congratulations, right? Princess Mdlovu, good evening, family. Enoch Mshanga Uti, selling tomatoes at 1 a.m. I'm telling you, I've seen it, job exhibit. Go around that. Drive around that, you will see miracles there. I'm telling you, I've seen it with my own naked eyes. Right? The business you are talking about, this actually is Katlachong Bungan. I know the story. I can tell the way you are so accurate. Right at Lab, Enoch Mshango, car wash in among such business. Yay, car wash, another business. Let's see. I like the popular Soweto drinking hall where popping bottles cost 25,000 rand. You are going somewhere. Yeah. Usimangalisa Dlamini, ababoshwe bonke. Right. Yeah, so guys, okay, who else commented? Because I think I saw a comment coming in. Udipuo, the last season, yeah, blacklist. Oh, you guys are up to something. But, you know what? I like the fact that you guys, you know the series that I'm talking about. So it's the blacklist. So guys, please, the blacklisted. So please, guys, go and watch that thing. Look at how that guy manipulates the police to his favor. And what he does, he uses the police to eliminate competition. He uses the police to destroy his enemies. That is exactly what you think. Do you remember that the guy who was captured, the guy who was kidnapped, Uposhong? Do you remember that Uposhong had a VIP protection unit too? We know that even today we haven't heard that probably he was released. So when you're looking at that movie or that series and you're looking at this, you're like, there's similarities here. But I want to leave it here with the hope that we shall see each other, or with the hope that tomorrow is another day where we will then have the opportunity and the privilege to speak. Let me probably read the last few comments and see who also commented. Smangalisa Utababoshwe, and then somebody had said that you guys did not call, by the way. So I'm leaving. I'm gonna leave. Okay, yeah. I just want to read a few comments now. Somebody else says, Abigail, Uti, we are in Hollywood. Pagati inside Pagati. Pagati mandota yagiti. Pagati. Right. Carol. Utige. So Cat is Mr. Remington of South Africa. Exactly. You get it. You get it. Dipo, he uses the FBI, not even the police. You guys are correct. You guys are correct. Matlala will get away with things that otherwise you're like, if it was you and I, we will easily get arrested. But people were willing to, you guys have correct. Because now I'm listening, I'm reading the name. I'm like, yeah, that's the guy. Raymond Raddington. That's the guy. That guy. No, he killed that series. But look at us now living in that series. Matlala is just brought that move. Or maybe it makes sense when they say South Africa is a movie. Welcome to the watch party. Maybe it makes sense why people call South Africa a movie. And some will call it a crime scene itself. Maybe not makes sense. But okay, guys, we're about to leave. Look at this. We've got 155 likes on a live stream that has over, at some point it was over 330 people watching us, but 150 likes. Guys, that's not fair. Let's do the right thing. Guys. Guys, I'm still testing. So, as long as... Okay, let me read this few comments, guys. Okay. Dipo uti chelete bongs chelete. Fabulous, mama. Uti. Askale, abantu must reap just what they sow. It's about time now. Yay, guys. Mina, I'm asking you, and I want to ask you guys yet again. What do you think we should expect? Because if you're looking at Tumsan, in the morning, he started very slow, and everybody started that way. Even Mkwanas, by the way, he started very slow, establishing the local, the education background, laying the foundation. But when he started dropping names, it got serious. And then Fanema Semula started the same way. And I'm seeing the same trend with this man, our guy, General Khumal. He started the very same way, started very slow, but just after lunch, started dropping names. What do you think will come out of tomorrow's proceeding? I want to hear that. Let me listen to that. Okay, somebody commented, Tupac and Big G. Okay. Andile, NPA is involved in this issue of withdrawal of cases. That's another interesting one. No, remember Mkwanas said prosecutors are involved. And people were angry at him. When you say NPA, obviously NPA equals to prosecutor. So you're making a lot of sense when you say that. So again, you are proving who? You are proving Mkwanas was right when he says the judicial is involved. Prosecutors are involved. Police are involved. Let me read this comment. We're still waiting for Gininda's name to be mentioned. But I can tell you that if Gininda's name was to be mentioned, I can almost predict how that name can be mentioned. I can almost predict the friend of Gininda. I don't know yet amongst the seniors, but I can almost predict the friend of Gininda. And let me repeat, if Gininda's name was to be mentioned here, I can almost predict who is the friend of Gininda. For a moment, think about it. Let me read this comment. Just for a moment, think about it. Divine Ebenezer, this Mkulukutu didn't think they would be caught. We see all Mkulukutus. Iyatatazela is there at ad hoc inquiry. Mkulukutus. Right. Octavia, the big five, Tupac equals to big cat Matlala. Uthi omunye ke orede sile lapho uSahara uthi Titutana uthi Matlala is intelligent than president. Does he all use that the SAP look at uthi that's why he used all the SA people. Oh, I get it. Dr. Katane uthi the big five includes Ramaphosa through Maumela. Watch the space. Hey, you've got a point. Right? Monica, Monica Mbappe. All right. I see you. Udipu Bongani, we know Chico, the Chomia Gininda. Let's not start there. Let's not go there. Not yet, guys. Not yet. But again, we are leaving, guys. I've decided that okay, I'm gonna make it in 4 minutes time we are leaving. So you can keep your comments coming. People didn't call, so I will not bother that side. We'll continue reading your comments here. But I'm giving it 4 minutes and then we are out. So if you guys wanna comment, you can comment. But 4 minutes from now, we will be out. So let me read this comment. Somebody says, mina ngizoti usbiya lowa aga geninda. Hey, they are watching everything. Upumzo uti Ramza is well aware of these shenanigans, but his hands are tied. They protected him during Palapala saga. He probably owes them favors. Toothless president. You are correct. I do not foresee the president acting in any way, shape, or form against these people. And like we said with the Minister of Police, that the president was not going to discipline the Minister of Police. Never. It was not going to happen. Namanje, he's still trying to figure out how he can maneuver that thing. If it was somebody else, he would have long been suspended. Look at what happened to Abozizo Godwa, and other people in the ANC. So why, when it comes to the minister, it's now difficult to suspend him? It's because he knows he owes him favors. And he can't just fire him like that. But let's read these few comments. Omunye uthi uMadonna uthi kusazonyiwa maqala eMzansi kuthi kushushu bongs. I remember that song here, Alaska 18. Accuse. All right. Kalilu Madonna. Dipu, now I used to work for the Department of Justice. One day we will hear my name being mentioned. Dipu lekalakala. All right. Ubong too, Finland uti. My grandma once told me Tele is a mafia, and imagine it's more than 10 years ago. Hey, all right. Usize uti. I remember therefore when therefore Mkhwanazi exposed this cartel. Okay. Yeah, guys. I think that's basically, I've already told you some of the things that I'm expecting so far as this cartel is concerned. But in conclusion, I want you to think of it this way. You've got senior police officers that are part and parcel of the cartel. And then you've got magistrates and judges that are part and parcel of the cartel as per Mkhwanazi. Guys, I want us to think about it for a moment, how that has an impact in you getting justice. Now, let me paint this picture. Imagine getting beaten by a friend of Matlala or the people that works for the cartel. And then you go to the police station, you report. And then that case doesn't succeed. Even if there is enough evidence to convict them. One. Okay, let's make matters worse. Imagine if you are a woman, imagine being violated by either the members of the cartel or their employees. Despite overwhelming evidence, that case will not see the light of the day. That's the impact. Or probably that's how we should be thinking about it, to say, How many people who have suffered and were deprived justice because the cartel has the right people in the right places? This cartel, basically, think about it this way. You are driving very nicely, they cut you at the robot or wherever, and when you fight them, they beat you for fighting them. And when you tell them that they are wrong, they beat you for telling them that you are wrong. And you can't do anything because they've got everybody backing them. Even if your case get to court, it will not succeed. That's what I want you guys to think of, because that is where the cracks of the matter are. I mean, that's where the crack of the matter is. Let me read the last comment and then we're gone. Bongtuba, okay, Sizwe. Matapo, utige, hi bongs. Hi Matapo, Dipuo. They are busy coaching Senzo Munu. So to stay away, stay away from media. I see what you're doing there. Right. Tyler 17. Now I just want to see how this series will end. You even call it a series. Okay. Lindani, how come no arrest made yet? Very interesting question. Guys, thank you very much. It has been nice. Fabulous. If people who are supposed to protect us are involved with criminals, where should we go? This is the end of the world. Nkosibuya ulande ibandla lakho. Amen. Right. Did you watch 702 when Clement was interviewing that guy called Blesser? He was busy saying, Teboho Tobejana, take drugs and it get you. Oh, okay. I didn't watch the interview. Okay. I didn't watch the interview. Nevertheless, guys, we shall see each other probably tomorrow. Yeah, there is a chance that tomorrow I might bring a guest. So we might have this conversation with a guest. So I will see you guys definitely tomorrow. But until, Ranko president is in